Right. So this is going to be a quick one just about how it's a lesson that I learnt in rugby and also a little bit during school, and it's sort of a mindset that you can get into quite easily, and it kind of stops you from actually attempting to fulfill your potential, which I believe is a massive barrier that stops people actually putting the work in. And it comes from social pressure, and it's the first thing you kind of need to understand is the fact that not everybody wants to be great and wants or believes in themselves to be great, to achieve something magnificent and insurmountable beyond themselves, etc., etc. Not everybody wants to do that, so you need to understand that concept, and you can have a little bit of empathy for what I'm about to go on next. Is about how other people react to people who are trying hard, and it's people who are trying hard, especially in a scenario where they're not actually successful yet, or they're not actually showing the fruits of their labour yet. And you always hear it, and it's like maybe in school you get called a try hard or a sweat, which is something in school. In rugby, a common term we use is a nose, somebody who just loves the sport and like trying hard and doing all the extras, all the analysis and stuff. And when I was like 17, 18, it was something that kind of deterred me a wee bit, which there was a wee bit of a stalling phase in me trying to push on from amateur rugby to semi-pro where I am now. And it is that idea, it's that you need to have that understanding that not everybody wants to be a professional player. Obviously the higher up the levels you get, obviously people will be. Obviously if you're in a professional environment, people want to be professional players, but then some of those players don't necessarily want to be international players, or they're not desperate to be international players, if you know what I mean. And it's a lesson you can kind of apply to anything that you're trying to prosper in. Sometimes I remember I've been in different like pro environments, semi-pro, amateur environments, and in every single one of them you get people getting the piss taken out of them for being a nose, for like just training really hard, for doing the extra skills after training, doing extra skills outside of training, extra fitness, extra gym sessions, extra analysis after games for training, etc. And people will take the piss out of you, and that's where it's actually important to realise when people are taking the piss out of you, is how you decide to use that. Do you use that to just cower away and try and fizzle in and fit in with the crowd and be like everyone else? Maybe that's what you want to do. It's up to yourself, but personally for me, how I've viewed it is as a tool to almost continue doing that and prove to those people that the work that you're doing now will become fruitful in the future. I believe very much in the fact that if you put in good work consistently over a long enough time frame, you will be successful. I feel like that's impossible. And every athlete, businessman, entrepreneur, successful lawyer, whatever, that I've studied, I've watched countless documentaries on successful people in various different fields, different sports, movies, books, etc. And in every single scenario of the most successful people are the people who were taking the piss out of, that were being noses, like we say in rugby, were being try-hard, sweats. And those people are always the ones that are successful. But the key decision you have to make is how you react to people calling you a nose and telling you you're trying too hard. How do you use that in your mind? Because that will determine whether you actually continue being consistent and continue putting in the hard work to finally be successful then, rather than being talented but never really being able to fulfill your full potential. Hope that was valuable to you. I'll see you next week.